Yo. Welcome back to another edition of that Stay Off My Grass podcast. It's your boy Jeremiah back again to talk Laker basketball. And I just want to start this thing off by saying, man, that was probably one of the worst, and probably another one of the worst officiated games we've seen all season for sure. I'm just gonna talk about the last. I'm gonna get this off my chest. And I'm getting into the game. How do you call a foul on the other end with the probably a fraction of the contact you've seen on the foul on the other end? Man got hit at least 4 times on the way going to the basket. Now, y'all know me. I don't really like coming on here and blaming the refs or saying the refs did this, refs did that. But man, how can you really that was a blown call, especially if you're gonna call the one just like that on the other end in a situation like this. I mean, you can say Patrick Beverly should have made both free throws. Yes, I give you that, right? But the Lakers went down on the other end and played some damn great defense, and then Jaylen Brown just gets bailed out by a tit for tat foul at the end of the game. And we clearly see like LeBron get hit at least twice on his way going to the cup, man. Like that just don't make sense to me. Like I'm sitting here watching the game with my girl and her friend, and they over here like, yeah, that's a foul. Like, what do you mean? Like they don't even watch basketball like that. And they can clearly tell you the man got hit, right? And everybody around the league, around just that watches basketball, likes to say LeBron is always crying. LeBron is always doing this. LeBron always doing that. Everyone fails to acknowledge that, yes, he's 6'8", 6'9", whatever you want to call it, 200 plus pounds charging at the rim. No little incidental contact is probably going to throw him off from making his shot. None of that really deters him, right? We've seen him push through fouls all the time. But just because he pushes through these fouls doesn't mean he's not fouled. Let's be clear on that, right? Just because he's strong enough to get through the contact doesn't mean he's not getting fouled. And the refs always give the defender the benefit of the doubt because they can't stop him getting to the basket. Like he can really put the ball down and just get there when he feels like it. And they feel that since he can do that, we can't call as many fouls as we want, or that need to be called, man. Like I'm just gonna call it out. It's just bias. You can't you just can't officiate like that. Like if he's getting hit, he literally can get hit on every single play, right? It doesn't disrupt his shot because he's so strong, but that does not mean he is not getting fouled. And especially if you're gonna call a foul just like the one you called on the other end, that doesn't sit right with me. So that's very, very frustrating because 41-point effort. We would have won the game in regulation had that been called, right? And just the foul right before that one, like, come on, refs. There is no, like, who holds referees accountable in situations like this? Like, I mean, they have a union, so you really can't go to their higher up, but, like, you probably can. But why aren't the refs held accountable missing calls? Like, any if you at your job and you messing up, they're going to let you know you messing up, right? Right, I guess I get it because they don't make the playoffs, they don't get to make the finals, whatever. But man, like on a game, you should be evaluated on a game-to-game basis, and you should be judged on the calls you make especially in the moment like that, crunch time, and you miss a call, like, all right, I'm done with the ref rant or whatever, but let me get right into the game. Lakers get defeated by the Celtics, 125-121. High man for the game. Obviously, you guessed it, LeBron James with 41. Shouldn't have had 41 if the game ends in regulation, like it should have been ended. A la missing free throws and just all that at the end of the game. But it was a back and forth game. The Lakers showed you that they can compete with one of the best teams in the NBA. The Celtics are not number one in the East for no reason. They get off there defensively. They can run up down the floor. They can score. They can isolate you with Tatum or Brown. And, they also have a nice little system or other players on their team who can get the ball and score. But, they show you why they're a pretty good team. And for this Laker team who's just trying to mesh, you just get AD back. You're just getting Rui. Lonnie Walker, hey, welcome back, man. Glad to see you. You was back out there tonight. You're getting guys like that back. And you see the Lakers are really competing with these kind of teams, Like, it's not like the Lakers are just like a blatantly, like, suck team. Like, they lose tons of games, man, just in the crunch time, in overtime, in the last 2 minutes. Like, it's so many games in the season up to this point where they have been lost in, like, the last 2-3 minutes of the game just because – situational things that are out of the Lakers' control sometimes, but sometimes they are with making free throws and closing teams out down the stretch. But that's neither here nor there. But it was good to see AD again tonight. AD didn't really have his imprint on this game. He scored 16, but it was a very rough 16. The Celtics for sure making sure, denying him the ball, not letting him catch, turn, get in the paint, do what he want to do. So, good on the Celtics defense for that part. But LeBron was still able to have his way. I ain't even gonna hold you. Shout out Patrick Beverly. Had a great game tonight, man. Knocking down threes, just being open, being present in the game in moments when you needed him to be present. But he had a good game too. And Coach Ham, let me say this: if you are going to not play Westbrook in crunch time or in those last 5 minutes of the game, why would you put him in overtime, which is essentially the same thing? Because in overtime, every single play matters. And we had parts where, he got the flagrant, he got those free throws, but it was parts where we were just like, man, like if you're open, you got that little glimpse, that little window to shoot the ball, dog, shoot it. Because we had nothing else, especially if you're going to turn the possession into a turnover or a bad pass that leads to a bad shot. Like, I would just rather you had shot the ball. And Patrick Beverly was not in the game during those moments. And I just think Pat would have probably took the shot. And he was pretty efficient for that tonight. So, Coach Ham, I'm kind of confused on what we saw out there, what you saw out there. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think you're going to have to get better down the stretch in late game situations. Because I don't think that some of the decisions you make down the stretch are really good. We've lost a lot of close games, and I feel like some of that is strategic based, some of that is coaching based games that we could have won. The Luka, the Portland game versus Philly, like it's so many things is down the stretch. I feel like we can tighten up and win these games because, man, we are in there competing with some of the best teams in the NBA. We beat the Grizzlies not too long ago. Had a wire-to-wire game that could have went anyway with the Celtics. Like, it's not we're losing games off like not having the talent or anything like that. It's losing games off of small critical errors, man. But I think that's pretty much all I got to say for the game. The Lakers play a back-to-back. We got the Brooklyn Nets on Monday, and then on Tuesday we got the Knicks. Again, two other solid teams in the East, two teams that play pretty good basketball. The Nets just beat the Knicks today, and the Nets are probably still gonna be without KD, so the Lakers are gonna have to take advantage of that for sure, making sure that they attack the Nets where they're weakest right now, and they'll probably be scoring the ball because they have Kyrie, but I'm not necessarily sure about anybody else that's gonna light us up unless they let Joe Harris have a day, but I'm not really worried about that now. I'm really, really angry with the result of this game because it should have been a W. Like, I feel like we were playing against the refs, man, and you just can't win playing against the refs and the other team. I hate blaming the refs for games, but I just don't think like this game was officiated good at all tonight, man. But until next time, I'll see y'all Monday night against the Nets. But until next time, y'all, peace.